Hey, big cat, welcome to my therapy. This ain't your ordinary world, it's extraordinary. See, I'm a high priestess lightworker, here to guide your way through the waves of life. We'll find a new path to embrace. Tarot, astrology, numerology in our hands. No weapon formed against you shall ever stand. We're winners, we never quit, we always keep on going. Quitters never win, but we're always growing. Hey there, big cat, let's chase the highest vibration. Together we'll create a new world, a brand new nation.
Namaste! Grand Rising Big Cat Air Signs. Welcome or welcome back to Big Cat Astrology, Big Cat Wave, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising. The planetary hot topics to add to your almanac over the next 7 days. On the 26th of March, the Moon in Libra is opposite Mercury in Aries. Your intuition will be heightened during this phase. Be mindful of the dual nature of your abilities. This phase can also lead to a sense of disillusionment regarding the truth roof. Pinkies up and the way you think about the truth, darling dears. Beware of impulsivity, being superficial or acting too hastily. On the 27th, the Moon in Scorpio squares Pluto in Aquarius. This celestial alignment provokes emotional aggression within you. You might feel inclined to retaliate against anyone who attempts to oppress you today, particularly if you identify as a female. Disputes over shared finances, inheritances, alimony and taxes may arise. Remember to check on your pets for any sign of illness. On the 28th, the Moon in Scorpio trines Saturn in Pisces. Now is an opportune moment for conducting business meetings. Approach matters requiring emotional composure with confidence, as you'll feel mentally resilient. Financial decisions will be straightforward, with a tendency to avoid extravagances, darling dears, over expenditures. On the 29th, the Moon enters Sagittarius. Maintain a positive and enthusiastic outlook. Seek meaning and purpose in your endeavors. On the 30th, the Moon in Sagittarius squares Saturn in Pisces. During this phase, you might experience indigestion, so it's advisable to avoid heavy foods like red meat. Opt for energy-sustaining food options. Avoid scheduling important meetings or signing business contracts today. You may be feeling emotionally fragile and lacking in patience or focus for challenging tasks. Consider taking a break, indulging in some physical activity or a nature walk. On the 31st, the Moon in Sagittarius trines Mercury in Aries. This alignment provides you with a clear mind, sharp wit and discerning judgment. Embrace independence and pragmatic thinking whilst remaining receptive to new ideas. It's an ideal time for embarking on spontaneous road trips. Communication flows effortlessly, allowing you to articulate your thoughts effectively. On the 1st of April, Mercury retrograde begins in Aries. Be cautious of conflicts, irritability and frustrations during this retrograde phase. Redirect the surplus energies towards productive endeavors and seize the opportunity to revisit past initiatives. Please watch my comprehensive video on this Mercury retrograde in Aries and its effects on each sun, moon and rising sign. Please stay tuned in for the tarot reading to follow. Big Cat Wave. Namaste! Grand Rising air signs, welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555 for messages for your next 7 days. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, Big Cat Wave. Let's dive in, darling dears, and unpack. Give it a good shufty. Good golly and gosh. You have the energy. Can you see it on the dice? You have the double one. But we'll unpack that in a moment, darling dears. Let's rest this over here so we can actually see. You are on a 4, darling dears. What is coming towards you don't see coming, darling dears, or it's not yet arrived. But the energy of the 4, darling dears, speaks about your abundance, you being in your personal power, co-creating mode, darling dears. This is about your cash flow. You're about to see some form of prosperity over the next 7 days. You are on the 4. This is the southeast corner. You may live in the southeast, darling dears. Your luckiest colors over the next 7 days will be purple, green, gold, red, and blue. All right. Now that we've broken that down, did I just pop my mouth? Good golly and gosh, I'm doing a Benjamin Buttons. I'm acting like a child, but I have the mind of a gangster. I told you, as a big cat, you move like a nun, but you think like a gangster. Anyhow, the energy of the double one. This goes down to a 2, but the 1 is about you evaluating everything. You'll be making a major decision. Oh, well, you have to make a major decision, darling dears. But Divine is cautioning you not to make this decision until after the next new moon. The next new moon will be in Aquarius, which will be not Aquarius, Aries, which is the new moon solar eclipse in Aries on the 8th of April, darling dears. So if you have a major decision to make or a major move, wait until after the next new moon. You have the energy of the 2. This speaks about you bring in balance. You are a natural born mediator, darling dears. Okay. The energy of the 2 also speaks about your life. Your life is about to change in a significant way, right? But as I said, don't make this major shift until after the next new moon. All right. The energy of the double one. It speaks about you are going to be seeing someone that you haven't seen in years. It could be meeting them. It'll be a randomly meeting, spontaneity, darling dears. You will see them. Okay, someone is about to approach you that you haven't seen in years. The energy of the 1, their outward behavior or their appearance is going to look very different to how they used to look. It could possibly be someone from your childhood. They may even have had some form of accident, darling dears, which is what changed their appearance and their health. Remember, I told you that. The energy of the 2, darling dears. It speaks about you using diplomacy when you meet this person. The energy of the 2 is represented by the astrological aspect of opposition. It speaks about attraction and separation. This is circumstances outside of yourself. Which is going to change, darling dears. Going to change. Remember, I told you that. These messages are coming in fast and thick. This reading is going to be about the 2nd house. The 2nd house is about your what you value, darling dears, your resources, whether they're material or non-material. It's also about somebody may even you may even be working in a position for the government, darling dears. It's about your reputation. It's about your talents and your skills, darling dears. The 2nd house is in juxtaposed to the 8th house, so it's other people's money. Maybe you'll be moving towards a new job, a new situation, or you'll be receiving something in a will, a legacy, darling dears. But it's definitely about an asset. But it's definitely a situation that you've let go of. This is where you're going to be benefiting from, darling dears. You don't see it coming. Remember, the cat's back was turned. All right, let's press on. Okay, the energy of the 2 is represented by the High Priestess, Justice, and Judgment in Tarot. You are bringing balance to a situation, but you must use your intuition and discernment. The Justice also speaks about the 7th house. The 7th house is the contractual relationships with other people, whether in a romance, a friendship. It could be family members. The Judgment is the letting go of a situation, but they haven't let go of the situation or you, darling dears. This situation is about to create freedoms for yourself, but karma for them. Because why? The 2nd house is in juxtaposed to the 8th, and the 8th house is the house of karmic debt, darling dears. Remember, I told you that. It also speaks about your psychic abilities are being reawakened or being raised up, darling dears, an upgrade in your psychic gifts. Listen to them, darling dears. Listen to them. Let's get your oracle ancestral message. Feel guided to use my intuitive cards. If you'd like to buy these, please follow the link in the description box below. What's the Oracle Ancestral message? We've got you in your element, darling dears, and it's on the 11. Master numbers are coming out. Your ancestors, call them at any time. The master number 11 speaks about you what? Being a master illuminator. You are a creator, darling dears, and it's about you what? Being in the moment. It also speaks about intuitive guidance being available to you in the moment, because a master number 11 is a wounded healer, darling dears. But it's about you still being able to share your vision through teaching, speaking, writing. This is you shining your light to inspire others. The energy of the 44, darling dears, speaks about you being also a master healer. This is a transformative time for you, darling dears. Your strength is they're going to test your gangster, darling dears. They will test your gangster. Remember, we move like a nun, but think like a gangster. Call your ancestral team. I told you, you've got 64 souls supporting you at this moment in time, because that was the culmination of what it took to get you here in the age of Aquarius, to heal all what karmic debt for your ancestors, darling dears, and clear up your lineage going forward. Base of the deck. Yeah, you're in the spotlight, the energy of the 17, darling dears. People are watching what's going on for you. You may even be in the spotlight, about to step into fame. What did I say? You landed on the energy of the 4. This is prosperity and wealth coming towards you. A new level of cash flow that is being made available to you, darling dears. All right. Let's get the energy of the 2 up. Your birthday could be the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, or the 29th. Your birthday could also be the 1st, the 10th, the 19th, or the 28th. Why? We have the energy of the 1 and the 2. Your luckiest days over the next few days will be Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Your luckiest numbers are 1, 2, 4, 6, and 8, darling dears. The letters associated with the number 2 is BKT. The number 2 is ruled by the moon. The moon is associated with the letters B, K, and R, darling dears. It's about the 2 tells you you're about to reap the dividends of your past efforts. Remember, I told you that. You don't see it coming. You don't see it coming, but it doesn't mean that you must give up. It means you must continue to put your back into it. All right, let's get the moon energy so we can see what else comes up with that. What other messages? Right, the moon. This is about your soul. Didn't I tell you? Call your ancestors, darling dears. This is on the energy of a 2. I can't make it up, darling dears. So we've got 2 2s on the tableau, darling dears. When we see 2 2s, it speaks about a reunion. I told you, you're going to be meeting up on someone that comes from the past, right? But it also speaks about parting ways. You are going to realize that they're not on your vibrating frequency, darling dears. Their appearance is going to be drastically changed. You will know them when you see them. Okay, the energy of Mars also represents a maternal grandfather or paternal grandmother. Okay, maybe this is where the inheritance is coming in, darling dears. All right, let's put this high up so we can actually continue to understand what's going on here. But this is part of your soul mission, part of your life path, darling dears. You could be a life path 2 or a 1. Okay, let's press on. Let's press on. Base of your deck, darling dears, we've got the 3 of Cups. You're going to have a reason to celebrate going forward. Let's see what your finances are saying over the next 7 days. Finances for the big cat over the next 7 days. Finances and work. Thank you. Oh gosh. We've got the 3 of Wands on its face, darling dears. This speaks about some form of delay, some kind of setback. This is also about to do with something that was not properly planned out. Look, you have the Tree of Life. You are about to make a new decision and embark on a new journey pertaining to your career, but it's about you what? Taking the time to think about it properly, darling dears. Remember, law number 29, do the Wendy Williams, plan all the way to the end. Yeah, because there's marauders, people that are trying to scupper you, scupper your plans. It's also arguments. There's a lot of jealousy. There's a lot of things being directed at you at this moment in time pertaining to work. And it's from bitter Bettys or bitter Benjamins, people that are pages. If they are not your progeny, darling dears. This is a lot of jealousy, envy, and hate that's been directed at you in the work and possibly at your money. Well, they ain't seen nothing yet, because their God is about to go radam and drop the tree of life onto you. Listen, if they were jealous before, they're going to turn it up, guys. Remember, I told you that. Clarify this Three of Wands. Not happy about that. Listen, it's a reminder to what? Plan all the way to the end, because you will get wish fulfillment. Remember, I told you that. Base of the deck. This is a lot of haters. Could be feminine energy trying to oppress you. Or you could be a feminine feeling oppressed by people around you at this moment in time. The key word is what? Not to lash out. You are a big cat. You plan. Remember, if somebody has control of your emotionals, they're your king or your queen, darling dears. They've got your psychological password, and they will be a tampon string in your life going forward. Remember, keep your cards close to your chest, because you're about to get what? Radam from the Most High, pertaining to your finances and your work. You don't see it coming. Okay. What about my singles? Good golly and gosh. Let's get these cards back. What about my singles? Single air signs over the next 7 days. Good golly and gosh. Somebody's about to release a situation or a person, darling. It could be feminine energy. There's a lot of jealousy, envy, and hate on the tableau. Someone who is envious, financially dependent on you as a single, or they're expecting you to be financially dependent on them. If that is the case, you're going to let it go, darling dears. Let it be a TKO. This is also ruminating thoughts, darling dears, as well as the skullduggerous. Once you put down this situation, person, place, or thing, they're going to try and come back. But they must know once and for all, it's over. Finito. You ain't going back. Not for all the tea in China. This goes to what? 5 of Pentacles. Yeah. This, you have to remember, when you attach your energies to the wrong people, places, or things, darling dears, you get their bad luck as well. Once you free yourself from that, darling dears, yeah, and stand your ground. This is spiritual protection. Call in your ancestral team. Speak your truth, even if your voice is shaking, darling dears, and release the burden of what they're trying to trap you in. Okay. What about those that are in a partnership or a coupledom? Partnership could be business, darling dears. What about those in a partnership or business over the next 7 days? World card, darling dears. Okay. World card in the upright. It speaks about travel, ended off some kind of cycle. Maybe you're planning some kind of world trip with your partner. But it also speaks about spying, darling dears. We have the Libra energy. I'm saying Libra because it's Libra on here, but this is the moon as well as Taurus energy, darling dears. Somebody's looking at the money that you have within this partnership. Wish fulfillment. Why is it there wish fulfillment about what money you've got going on? Why? Because they're jelly. They're jelly, darling dears. Somebody from the outer reaches is watching you plan and live your best life, and they don't like it in your coupledom or partnership. Yeah, but this has been a long time coming. Didn't we see the cat with its back turned? Nobody never saw the work that you and your partner or your, whether it's in business or romance, have done. Nobody's looking at the hard work and the time it took for you to do the due diligence and get to the level where you are. They don't care about that, right? But this is winning while everyone else is sinning, darling dears. Making the right contracts, the right contacts. The energy of the 3, darling dears, speaks about your authenticity. This is what is bringing all of this abundance into your life. Yeah, they're jelly, darling dears. Jelly bogelly. These are narcissists. Someone who felt that, or someone who feel that they have some kind of standing in your life. They're about to be dropped like a hot potato, realizing that being around bad lucky people is infectious. Law number 10 of the 48 laws of power. Avoid, avoid, and avoid again. Law number 2, be cautious in who you trust over the next 7 days. Okay. Final message, you're seeing things from a different perspective. Hangman. This is you realizing the selfishness of people around you, darling dears. Realizing that they was all self-serving. This is traitors, darling dears. You're going to be seeing a lot of traitors around you who've made your journey very difficult, pretended to be a friend. You're going to be turning your back on a lot of toxicity over the next 7 days. Queen of Swords, you got your third eye and bitches and mitches. You're no longer blindfolded. Look, your eye holes are cut out. The Queen of Swords is someone who is highly intelligent, able to solve any issue with the least amount of effort. Why? Because you've got it in the cranium, darling dear. Air sign means you examine all evidences and you will not be hoodwinked again. Yeah, by the devil's most diligent worker. Again, there's codependence, darling dears, in a love situation. But it also speaks about getting a new lease on life, moving forward. But you have to listen to your intuition. And again, we have the energy of the moon. Listen to your intuition, your discernment for fake friends, the fakeazoids, darling dears. This is the week to get rid of them and change the game as you play chess and not checkers. On that note, I drops me mic. Toddle over to my Teesprings, my Patreon, or my TikToks, where I also upload videos. Thank you very much for your continued support of me, this channel, and the messages or massages. Thank you very much for your bookings, your likes, your subscribes, your shares, and most importantly, your comments, which are a survival kit for another big cat. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby, namaste. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, big cat wave. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat, 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 cat.
Hey, big cat, welcome to my therapy. This ain't your ordinary world, it's extraordinary. See, I'm a high priestess lightworker, here to guide your way through the waves of life. We'll find a new path to embrace. Tarot, astrology, numerology in our hands. No weapon formed against you shall ever stand. We're winners, we never quit, we always keep on going. Quitters never win, but we're always growing. Hey there, big cat, let's chase the highest vibration. Together we'll create a new world, a brand new nation.